On a topics forum, somebody replied to me that he thought I was arrogant and rude. He didn't mean to hurt my feelings or nothing, and wanted to slams against me on the Who is Austin Centinela from topics.com Utica forum. I don't remember the post number, so I don't off top. But this guy goes, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or not. I saw you on the YouTube videos explain what you had to say about yourself, but somebody said something to me. I'm trying to remember what comment or what. And maybe it was two different comments. I don't remember, to be honest, at the moment. I'll look it up. I'll go, oh, there it is. And maybe I'll come back and make a part 3 to the video. But this guy goes, I was rude in the past to him, so he never thought twice about me ever again. He tried to talk to drums with me, and I didn't want to talk to him or something. I wrote back, because I'm kind of responding one-on-one to everybody. There's not that many people to respond to, so I'm like, well, okay, it's either good or bad. It's not impossible to say something back. I'm not trying to make any enemies with anyone. Somebody could call me a big litany about how much of a pedophile I've been and what I've done to everybody's kids, which is totally not true of any kind. I was at first, it prompted me to write about a half a page of responses in some capacity. I definitely, responded to them, but it's just complete. I said, this is what slander in print looks like. I said, this is a very excellent example of what slander. It's illegal to do that to people. So, I said, well, okay, all right. So, yeah, if I've been rude or I've been arrogant and I've been an asshole, well, I'm never going to stop being one. The truth is I got very poor people skills. I've never felt good esteem. I've never had confidence. I've got more balls and excuse the language. Even that tells you I don't have confidence. I can't hold my water and just be polite. I'm anxiety ridden, man. I was treated clinically for it. When I stopped getting wasted, I realized the brakes went on me. I was like, I've been called a rat and everything. You know what? The truth is that I have never narked on anybody other than my uncle, who I tried to save his life when I realized he was doing drugs after he was retired. And from pain pills, it went worse than his always been routine of some of the known drinking and things that he had bad liver and he kept killing himself with the drinking and things. But when he got to the real hard stuff and he ended up, he OD'd on heroin out of the blue, to my mind. This is after years of him being arrested and in a recovery program and inside house and everything in Utica. He's the only one I've ever called police on directly and said, "You got to help this guy. I want you to help him. I'll take whatever heat I got to take." And my involvement, with marijuana and that, and you got to help him. And it didn't stop him. He resented me and he estranged himself from me and he cut himself off from me until the very end. And then after 3 years of no contact, I'm not a guy walking around like a I'm looking for trouble. I'm just saying, especially as a musician. I mean, that shit's going on everywhere you go. Every bar you sit in, there's somebody at the end of the bar selling coke. There's somebody doing something. And it's like saying I'm going to be a Puritan or I'm going to be colonial and I'm going to be a Quaker or something. And all of a sudden, I don't go to go play the drums anymore because it's entertaining, evil people doing evil things. And that's flipping out. So I don't carry I'm not a lawman. I'm as suspect as you are for being there. When I call the police, that's pretty much how it's been. It's like, well, and you're here, why? Calling for what? For, how do we not know you're one of those dealers too, trying to make turf? And that's the kind of history I'm going against and stuff. So it's like, well, you got the wrong idea. I'm not trying to be flippant and rude or arrogant. I have been told that I've been difficult to work with in the past in a musical capacity. I haven't been a polished musician, obviously. I don't know, maybe ever. I've always tried to be more of a jazz guy than a performing commercial pop goal orientated show band person. I've always been more of a jazz guy in the moment. I wanted to be fusion. I've been thinking of more of in terms of like, I mean, you see the painting in the back wall over here. Where is it? Over there. Where is it? Over there. There it is. There it is. See it? Bing, 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 bing. It's on the back wall. It's more of a interpretive, impressionistic draft than a realism, a baroque kind of a classical, style. That's basically. I'm saving the specifics and the realism to kind of be a better person. I'm saving that for the humanity of it. So I talk more these days, but I was never that good in a bar. I never felt good in being in a bar. Number one, and it's always uncomfortable. I'm always working really hard as a drummer in the bar if I'm in there playing, and I generally don't talk too good to people in bars. I just don't. And in the past, sure, I've been trying to get as wasted as I can get, and I've always tried to go for it. And, I come from the school, I started out there, that you had to be as far into the music and out of it as possible. You know, I blame it on Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page and the Beatles and everybody else saying, all you need is love and shit. And you just get wasted. That was the school I come from, man. Allman Brothers, Pink Floyd, Genesis. That's who I was like. That's what I started out as. You know what I mean? I don't want to end there. I've been pretty sober, mostly, as much as possible, and I'm starting to get a little bit better perspective on things. As only recent years, to to use speech and talk and socially. I'm trying to emote all the time behind the drum set when I was in a bar. And if you didn't get it in the music, I just didn't have patience or strength or tact to conversate. And I'm sorry if anybody's offended by my history in the city of Utica, New York, for me ever being a drummer, because I always thought I did good. I showed up and I picked my own drums up and set them up and tore them down. Nobody helped me. I played all night. Nobody helped me tear them up, carried them for me. And I thought I did. It was a good night. So I never can gauge it. My work relationships as a musician. I know a lot of times more than ever, more than most things I can say about being a drummer in the past, publicly as a drummer who tried to be out there for years and years and years with different situations. I played with Cornell People United in '94 for the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And I did open mic nights. I was hosting open mic nights for a little while in Rome, the Rib Crib, when that was a Rib Crib place, and I used to go to the Devereaux for years and years, on and off, years and years, and sit in. And I'm gonna say that I'm very, very grateful to have that opportunity to call it that. You can't take that away from me. I did get to play at the Devereaux as an unknown kid. This guy drumming with the hair and everything. I always had long hair down to my shoulders and shit. And out of the blue, I took it as I was finally a man old enough to be the drummer at the Devereaux, because that's a place that's been around for a very long time, and it's got a very strong tradition of from the '70s with the Frogs and what the hell else you got the two guys playing now. I forgot their names, and I don't mean to offend them, but they had the full band. There's 100,000 people, man, of people that I come from, Jerry Krause, WOUR DJ, Jerry Krause, and those concerts downtown Utica in the earlier '80s. Those are the guy. Everybody that came out to Utica and jammed, those days. Justice McBride. That's what I wanted to say. Justice McBride. I kept saying Bob Seger. Who's the band that kept playing, that kept making me think of Bob Seger? And I thought Justice McBride.